Hi, I'm Keith Prabhu. I'm the founder and CEO of Confidus, an organization that provides services on information security, business continuity, and privacy. Today, I'm going to share with you my perspectives on the impact of COVID 19 on information security and business continuity. But before we start, let me get a few things right. This session is not about doom and gloom. We are seeing that all around, and I don't want to add to that. This session is also not talking about just our failures, but what is it about? It's basically about learning from our failures, overcoming challenges, ideas, new ideas that can come out of a disaster. As they say, failures are stepping stones to success. So, a lot of new ideas have come out during this coronavirus. And becoming resilient. So let us understand why this coronavirus pandemic has proven to be so difficult for organization. And there are four key factors. First, the duration of the crisis. This disaster started way back in March, and we are still seeing that it's showing no signs of abating. Most organizations had planned for small outages, small crisis, but this disaster and the duration of this disaster has really tested the limits of our planning. Secondly, this is a public health issue, and no organization can take a risk with the health of its staff. Thirdly, because of the gravity and magnitude of the problem, the government has intervened, and hence it is impossible for any organization to simply continue its business overruling government diktats. Lastly, the global scale. If you think about it, mostly business continuity plans were meant for, at the most, tackling country outages. So the apex level of plan looked at a country outage, but this was of global scale. You could not move your operations to another country. These four facets of the pandemic have really tested the information security and business continuity professionals. So let us understand the impact on organizations, and for this I've actually categorized organizations into two buckets. The first bucket is the organizations where processes cannot be virtualized, like manufacturing, retail, transportation, logistics. These cannot be virtualized. You cannot manufacture a car at home. So those organizations were very badly affected and had to stop, and we are seeing the brunt our economy has had to bear, and global economy had to bear because of this. But there are organizations that processes can be virtualized, like software development, banking, BFSI sector, ITES sector. But even here we saw that depending on the level of preparedness, they were affected. Organizations in these sectors were affected in different manners. Some were ready, they had business continuity plans, they had infrastructure in place, they were ready to go, they were able to function. There were some who were virtualized, they have virtualized their operations, but they had a problem because either they did not have a business continuity plan in place, or the business continuity plans were inadequate. So they had to slow down operations, wait till they get up to speed, and only then were able to recover. And then there were those organizations that were not virtualized at all, like for example the chartered accountant firms, small chartered accountant firm, not virtualized. They could have, but they didn't. In those cases, unfortunately, they were very badly affected. Even though the employees could have worked from home, they did not have the facility to work from home. So what are the key challenges that have come for information security? First of all, availability. Availability is one of the key aspects in the triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information security. So availability of information resources became a big issue. Like there was no bandwidth to access these resources. Organizations had not planned for all their employees to work from home, and the bandwidth was not available. VPN licenses for people to access the organization's network remotely were inadequate. End users did not have laptops to work. I know of organizations who had to scramble to provide laptops to their end users, and some of the organization just allowed end users to use even their home PCs, which were not secure. Another aspect is of lack of physical security. If you think about it, so much of our security revolves around the physical security, because people come to office and they are monitored. There is access control, there is CCTV, there are physical security guards. But at home there are no such controls, and it becomes a major problem to manage security of information once a person starts working from home. Then lack of granular data security. One of the key concepts of information security is the concept of least privilege, that is giving minimum access to data depending on the task to be performed. But most organizations have not implemented it in that manner. Like for example, I have a client, is a US insurance client, and they had implemented their application in such a way that all users had access to the social security number of their customers. And when these very same staff started working from home, and they should not have had access to the social security number other than those people creating the records, they got access to that sitting at home without any physical controls. When they were in office, there were a lot of physical controls to ensure that they don't do anything wrong with that social security number. But here, because they were working from home and there was no granular data security, it was a double whammy for the organization. COVID attacks, it's like the icing on the cake is the COVID attacks. The number of COVID attacks just multiplied during this period, because now hackers know that they can target easy prey, right? The staff are not at all aware about ransomware, and awareness levels are low. So there was a massive upswing in attacks on end users. What are the challenges for business continuity? Is some businesses, of course, were completely prepared, less of a struggle, but their environment, they also work in an environment. No organization is like an island. They work with partners, they work with customers. Since the environment was not conducive, they were affected, and that's something that you couldn't really help, right? Unless the entire business environment is resilient, you can't avoid this situation. Then some organizations were partially prepared. That is, they had tested plans, but they are not ready for this duration and intensity, and they had to actually customize those plans, modify those plans, and then scale up. But herein is a very good argument for business continuity. You need not ensure that your business continuity has every single scenario tested out. For those people who say, hey, how are we going to plan for things that are not predictable? The answer is we don't plan for them, because there should be a plan, it should be tested, and if there is a situation that comes out of the ordinary, we should have a plan to start off. So there should be a starting point. Lastly, there were organizations who were not prepared at all. They had heard of BCP for the first time. Tough luck, guys. They struggled a lot. BCP is just done for compliance, but I know so many organizations that just do BCP for a compliance because a regulator has mandated it, because some government has mandated it, there's some law somewhere. But it won't work, and it's not tested. With that, let us understand how are we going to meet these challenges. So information security challenges, implement concepts that are well known, like defense in depth, large amount of security controls, concept of least privilege, give access only to that much information that is required to complete a particular task and not more than that. Security awareness, that is, increase the security awareness of your staff, because you never know when they work from home anywhere remotely. They should be aware of malware, of phishing attacks, or else your organization will have to pay for it. Computing mobility. If you see, one of the biggest problems was staff couldn't work from home. If they had laptops, mobile computing devices, they probably could have worked. So we have to think whether we want to give our staff these mobile computing devices and also, of course, keep them secure. And last but not the least, cloud security. Most of my clients have started adopting the cloud in a bigger way because of the coronavirus, obviously, because it is easier to access from anywhere. But at the same time, it's very important to remember cloud security, because most of the breaches in cloud security happen because of poor configuration by end users, by organizations, end user organizations. So you need to ensure the cloud is well secured, because inherently the cloud is secure. The cloud service providers ensures that. What about BCM? How do we meet the BCM challenges? The business continuity plan should cater to both critical and non-critical activities. All activities should be planned for. So typically, what has been our approach? Just look at the critical activities. What about the non-critical activities? Let me give you an example. For example, HR does appraisals. In case of a crisis, in case of a disaster, will it do appraisals? No. But what if there is a disaster as grave as the pandemic that we are facing? Will the appraisals be cancelled? What if this pandemic continues for the next 6 months or a year? Will appraisals altogether be cancelled? No. You have to have a plan to continue that. So we need to have a plan for both critical and non-critical activities, so that you're not scrambling later to find a way out. Pandemic plans which are should be created because they are required in such situation. Think about BCM automation, and here I'd like to speak a bit about BCM automation. I spent 20 years in this field, and I know that it is a complex area. We collect information from about all the aspects of the organization, the process, the people, the infrastructure, the facilities. Now, collecting all this information and then reusing it, creating plans is no mean task, and using manual tools makes it very difficult. And the biggest problem is you can't maintain it year on year. You might achieve it for the first year. Second year, you want to update it, it becomes difficult. So use some BCM automation tools. And one of the BCM automation tools that I would recommend is a tool called Catalyst. And as a full disclosure, Confidus is a partner of Catalyst, and we resell it, but I found it really simple and easy to use, and you should consider it. Our contact details are at the end, and you could write to us for that. Next, organizations need to think about resilience rather than IT disaster recovery. So I did not hear of any organization which had to switch to a disaster recovery site during this pandemic, because the data centers were working fine. But yes, organization staff could not access it because they did not have computing devices. So we need to think about IT resilience, not about disaster recovery only. Also, plans must be practical and tested rather than for compliance and certification only. So many organizations are just doing this paperwork and paper-based approach rather than doing it in spirit. So we need to have a business continuity plan that is practical and tested. So in summary, let me quote the immortal words of one of the greatest villains of Hindi cinema, Gabbar Singh. He said in Hindi, "Jo dar gaya wo mar gaya," which means if you get scared, you're dead. Right? So there's no point in getting scared. We must learn from this disaster. For information security, revisit our concepts: defense in depth, least privilege. For business continuity, we need to further evolve, mature further, so that we can handle catastrophes of this magnitude and nature. With that, this is the end of this session. I'll be very happy to connect with you. Please write to me at info@confidus.co, or you can even call us on this number. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm there. I'll be happy to connect. I hope this session was useful and enlightening for you, and you could make your organization much more resilient. Thank you.